the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's Donkey of the Day today?
Yes, Donkey of the Day for Thursday, September 29th goes to a man named Ashef. Ashef is a registered sex offender from Chicago. He, along with other convicted sex offenders, were featured on a Vice documentary that was chronicling the story of convicted sex offenders who said they have had to serve additional time in prison, or what they call dead time, because of the restrictive housing laws that prohibit them from living in many areas of the country. I never heard of dead time, and this is why documentaries are important, because they are really good sources of information. Ashef served 6 years of dead time in prison on top of his initial sentence of 9 years behind bars after being convicted of forcing oral sex on a woman and penetrating her with his fingers when he was just 15 years old. Now, in Illinois, convicted sex offenders who are legally required to put their names on a registry, and they're often banned from obtaining housing in areas near schools, daycares, and playgrounds, which keeps them from living in highly populated areas that could offer places of employment. Now, I need you to follow me with this story because it's a thing, right? That's why they made the documentary. Advocates for prison reform claim that sex offenders are unjustly punished even after being locked up. But on the other side, supporters of the rules governing registry say that the measures are necessary to mitigate the risk posed by convicted sex offenders in the community. So one topic, two sides. In the documentary, the narrator says, in Illinois, if you can't find a house that meets the rules, you stay in prison. Ashef told Vice that he was sent back to prison because he couldn't find housing that would accept a parolee and a convicted felon. Ashef was released from prison with just a bus ticket, and he got to make it on his own with no ID and no family. He was also required to wear an ankle monitor to track his movements. He also told Vice that he has filled out some 50 job applications and walked into 20 places and asked if they were looking for workers, and he hasn't had no success. Okay, Ashef said he is open and willing to work anywhere, doing almost anything that can put some money in his pocket and allow him to pay his rent and be self-sufficient. One of the main reasons he needs to make money is that he needs to pay a $100 fee to even register as a sex offender, okay? Ashef clearly doesn't have the money, and he said that if he cannot afford the expenses that come with traveling to and from a special class that is required for sex offenders, then he is in danger of going back to prison simply because he can't afford the fees associated with his post-release requirements. Wow. Now I know what you might be wondering. Well, why the hell is Ashef getting Donkey of the Day? I see some people saying Vice clearly has made a piece that makes some folks feel sympathetic to reintegrating sex offenders into society. That's part of it, but to me, this doc is more about the judicial system and how the judicial system does continue to punish people even after serving their incarceration. But I tell you this, if you did have sympathy for Ashef, if you found yourself on Ashef's side, if you found yourself on the side of the prison reform advocates that say sex offenders are unjustly punished, and you were frowning at the people who say the measures are necessary to mitigate the risk posed by convicted sex offenders, well, then you might rethink that stance. Why, Uncle Charla? What did he do? Well, let's go back to this one part of the Vice doc to find out.
We all out here in this world, and we all got to make it happen, and ain't nothing stopping me. So, I'm very hopeful and confident.
After this interview, Ashef sent a picture of his penis to our producer.
Black. That was Ashef, talking about, how he's still going to push through. Can we play it again, please?
We all out here in this world, and we all got to make it happen, and ain't nothing stopping me. So, I'm very hopeful and confident.
After this interview, Ashef sent a picture of his penis to our producer.
He sent the picture of his penis to the producer, a rehab sex offender, and I put rehabbed in air quotes, who's on a Vice doc speaking about being unjustly punished, knowing that there's people out there who say these rules that are unjustly punishing you are not unjust because they mitigate the risk that sex offenders pose. That man sent the penis pic to the producer of said documentary, which, by the way, is a crime in Chicago. It's called cyber flashing, and it's illegal in Chicago by city ordinance, okay? He claimed through his lawyer that the photo was sent by mistake. I don't know if it was really sent by mistake, but it was indeed a mistake that makes it bad for everyone who is getting treated unjustly by the judicial system, because it makes all the people who support the law say, see, these are the risks that sex offenders pose, because this guy is sending pics to a producer on a doc that's actually trying to help. Some donkey of the days just sell themselves. Please give this man Ashif the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
You are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yeehaw.
You want to play a game?
No, Envy. I will not.
You want to play a game?
Okay. I guess we could play a game of
Guess what race it is? All right, get my clues.
His name is Ashif.
Black.
Ashef.
Damn.
Oh, God. All right. And DJ Envy says black. Angela Yee, his name is Ashif. He's a registered sex offender from Chicago. He was on this documentary, and he sent a picture of his penis to the producer of said doc. Guess what race he is?
He's African American, but I will say I already have seen the story. So, in all fairness, I saw this on
cheated.
social media, and I already know. It wasn't on purpose. I just happened to have seen it already.
Yeah, okay. Well, both of you are correct.
No. Ding, 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 ding.
Envy saw it already too.
No, I didn't.
What, the picture?
No, I didn't see the picture.
Oh.
You didn't see the story?
No, I just heard his name, Ashif.
I thought you were talking about the penis picture.
Could be anything.
No, I didn't see the penis picture. All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Now, when we come back, Noah Kerner will be joining us. He's from Acorns. He's the owner of Acorns.
Yeah. He's the CEO of Acorns, but by the way, colorful background because he also was a DJ for J-Lo when he was a teenager. And now he has Acorns, which is a great investing app. They have that roundup feature that people love. So you can learn more about that. As you know, financial wellness is important to all of us.
All right, so we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.